The nation's troubled economy has most Americans fighting to stay afloat. The national unemployment rate for September is stuck around 9%, almost double what it was in January of 2008, and the housing market is upside down.
So how did we get here, and just how do we get out of this mess? Well, tonight, Action News reporter Debbie Cobb talks to local business experts and business owners about the big economic picture and how all of it has impacted the North State in this first installment of our month-long series, Economy Forward.
There is nothing sparkling about the country's current economic situation. The nation's unemployment figures in September were 9.1%, and California is higher at 11.9%. Prices are up on everything from gasoline to groceries.
The mess is obvious. It's the massive, globally, the amount of debt that we've accumulated as consumers, as countries, as individuals. It's been this huge debt party from a government level all the way to an individual level with no model of ever paying it off.
Thank you for calling Foster Direct.
Chris Friedland is president and CEO of Bill.com in Chico. The 35-year-old is savvy and knows his business. In 2000, he and a friend started the online business in his apartment as Chico State students. The company is now located at the Chico Airport. It sold in 2007 to Wolseley International of the United Kingdom. It now employs 260 people, and the company is hiring. He says the main fuel behind the current economy is the housing bubble that burst 4 years ago.
Real estate values become fundamentally uncoupled from the actual cost of producing homes. And there was this massive speculative bubble. We see it come through history, and the government made it worse by continuing to fuel the bubble through low interest rates.
Chico business owner Barbara Mundy agrees. The real estate market had a lot to do with the downturn in the economy. She owns Mundy & Company Jewelers on 2nd Street. Her business opened 25 years ago and is surviving the current financial situation. But she says you have to work harder and diversify.
I think that being a part of the community, being involved with outside of your store so people know who you are and what you stand for and what your business is about is very, very important.
Getting our economy out of the doldrums will depend greatly on investing in education. That's according to CEPCO President Bob Linscheid.
Clearly, if you take a look at statistics now, the more educated you are, the more opportunity there is for you to find a job or create a job for yourself.
The latest numbers show 35% of high school dropouts are unemployed.
What we need to concentrate on in Chico, as a city, as a community, is create a culture for innovation. Ideas that lead to a positive economic outcome.
Former longtime Chico City manager, Fred Davis.
Most of the growth of Chico was affected by the growth of the university.
Davis was Chico City manager from 1959 to 1992. During his tenure, the budget was always in the black, and he's proud of the fact that not one person had to be laid off. When Mr. Davis arrived in the city of Chico back in 1953, the population was 12,500. Currently, 87,000 people plus live in the city limits. The population at the university, 1,500. Now 15,000 students attend Chico State. A lot has changed since then.
I happen to feel that the city is overregulated in an attempt to develop new revenues. For those revenues they've lost, they tended to put that on businesses, and that slows them down.
North State communities also fight losing businesses to bigger corporations, which then move them out of the area. And that's not the only problem.
The second is transportation. Getting in and out of Chico is a difficult matter. Those are two of several priorities that the Chamber and CEPCO are working on that are going to be essential for growing this economy.
Friedland says the bailout mentality of large corporations by the government is not the answer. He says the massive deleveraging needs to play itself out.
We have too much debt, we have too much leverage. So we need to return to an economy that growth is not consumption-based growth, but it's production-based growth.
So is there hope for this beaten-down economy?
I think we can turn things around, but it's going to be slow. It's going to take a long time.
Are you optimistic? Is there optimism out there?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You can never stop being optimistic.
I'm pretty optimistic, yeah.
Build.com's president says businesses that want to thrive in the future have to look beyond traditional borders and boundaries. Friedland's company does less than 1% of its business in Chico, selling to all corners of the world.
Not focus on growing your business, not focus on expanding your reach is a fool's folly. Don't put your head in a hole because of the headlines that you're reading in the media. Go to work on your business, grow your business.
Reaching beyond your local limits, he says, is the diamond in the rough. On special assignment, I'm Debbie Cobb for Action News.
Experts say a new batch of jobs is not likely to come from something like an existing Fortune 500 company building a new plant or offices here in the North State. Rather, job growth will likely come organically from businesses that begin to grow here in the North State, as in the case of Build.com.
For the unemployed, the job market is a scary and uncertain place in these tough economic times, but there are still some jobs out there for those who are willing to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty. According to North State job placement businesses, while most industries have cut workers, some seasonal industries are having trouble finding enough employees to fill their posted positions.
Unemployment's still high, but there are lots of employers out there that are actively searching for skilled labor. They seem to be a little bit more picky, but the jobs are definitely still available.
Coming up tomorrow on Action News, reporter Court Klopping will take an in-depth look at which companies are hiring and what they're looking for in new employees.
And as part of our Economy Forward coverage, every day we'll tell you about a new job opening here in the North State. There is an opening for a qualified truck dispatcher in the Chico area. It's a full-time job and pays $12 an hour. If you'd like more information, call Rush Personnel Services in Chico at 893-5500.
Still to come on CBS 12 Action News at 6, Gerard will have a look at this year's Chico State women's basketball team.
And later, who can outlast the rest while wearing a pumpkin head? We'll take you out to the annual contest to see how people are faring.